Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Away we go. Can you believe it? I cannot believe we are at yet another show. They just keep coming. It's awesome. I am excited. I am super excited. I hope you out there are excited. This is Jessica Koch, and this is another Profound Professionals. It's an interview series that has been coming to you. Can you believe we are going to have our 10-year birthday this year? 10 years old. That's right. Bringing over 1,000 guests to you from all over the world. They help improve your personal life or they can help you grow your business. Today's show is a big time helpful show for you because growing your business is definitely the name of the game here. I have John, and 24 years old, but still a whiz in this space. And I think sometimes it is easier for people who are young to keep up with all the changes and watch all of the things that are happening in the social media space as well as technology to help us keep us up to speed. Seems to be something. If I have a problem with my phone, my 9-year-old granddaughter can fix it. So it cracks me up. But John is an entrepreneur. He's really focused on helping you grow and scale your business through marketing, through sales and marketing. And he's going to give us a lot of great advice today on what that could look like. So welcome to the show, John.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell us how at such a young age you became a high-level expert in this space and who you're working with and how they're finding you. Give us all of the details of the journey through your sales and marketing experience.
Yeah, great question. So I've been grinding at this for a while. A while for someone young. So I've been doing this for about 7 years now.
Wow,
Just doing online business and things like that. But what I'm more honed in now is working with existing B2B companies who they may already have, a really, really great product. Typically I'm working with a lot of software companies. They're making some money, but they really need help scaling, whether that's through marketing or through sales. So I kind of get into their business. Either we do a rev share, do equity, or I'll do some consulting work with them, just building out their offer, building out their audience, then building out paid ads, all their marketing channels. And then lastly, just building out their sales team. So that's essentially who I typically work with.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So this works a lot with you're typically working with clients who have some sort of software product that serves people.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of guys, a lot of these software guys are very, very technical, but they don't really know where to go as far as just getting the next client. Maybe they have a great product, whatever it is, and they're very, very smart with that, but they just don't know how to go out, how to actually market that. The whole psychology behind it, really what to do. And then as well as just closing deals. So that's really who I like to work with to help them scale their business.
I love that it sounded like you have a lot of different options of ways to work with you. And that you had this progression of opportunity that didn't, start with having to spend, $5,000 or $10,000 a month on just ads. It sounded like you had a progression that you worked them through and up to so that they would have the resources in order to begin investing with the ads. Do you want to share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, 100%. So originally how I got into this was, I got very, very good at sales, building out sales teams, and I started doing the marketing side. So my business really started more as like a sales agency to where I was partnering up with these businesses and kind of just glorified sales management. And then I got a lot more people reaching out to me. And then once I learned the marketing, I had, 2 or 3 people that I was working with, and it became a lot of work. But with my social media, I still had a bunch of people reaching out to me per se. And I was just turning people down left and right. So that's kind of where I built out the consulting. So it's like, hey, maybe it doesn't make sense for us to do a revenue share or for me to spend, my hours building this out for you one-on-one. but we can do a consulting work to where it's, if you're in the early stages of your business, I can still provide value for you.
I love that. I love that. So, who would you say, we talked about tech companies. Is that your ideal client, or are there other distributors that would tell you, I'm the right person to go look at and reach out to John? What else would identify me as a right customer for you?
Yeah, I'd say like the main focus would be like, B2B tech and B2B SaaS companies. We work with a lot of different like B2B consulting companies, marketing agencies. So really what I like is founders who they're really good at fulfillment, or they've built out a really good product to where it's just very, very easy to sell. Because the main pillar of my business is obviously building out marketing and sales. And if the offer or what they're selling is just very, very awesome, then it just makes it my job a lot easier. So any guy who they just have a great product, but they don't really know where to start, that's just ideal for me. So I can kind of fill the gap between what they're good at, and I can fill the gap with my systems.
So what is a good way for them to start with you? Where would they find you? What's the first step for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, so I post a lot I've been focused a lot on YouTube recently. So I'm doing, I'd say 3 to 5 videos a week, just from anything from sales knowledge, just background on how to train your sales reps, how to actually close deals, and then marketing, how to actually generate leads, whether that's paid traffic, email, and then lastly, just building out your offer and actually building out an audience. So I do provide a lot of value on there. If you are looking to work one-on-one with me, I'm on Instagram as well, so you guys can reach out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, well, I would love for you to give everybody out there a tip, maybe something on sales, and maybe even something on approaching ads. My biggest tip for ads is always work with an expert. It's too complicated.
Yeah.
What do you have for us as far as a tip?
So I would say, and I think my marketing and sales advice kind of go hand in hand. People always like to look for like a short fix or like a short tactic. And it's kind of tough because if you go on social media, you have all these guys where they're, making a reel and they're saying, hey, here's this tip to close this deal, or here's, this Facebook ad trick. But really you can use all these tips and tricks that you want, but it really just comes down to the foundation of human psychology. And sales and marketing in reality are the same thing. Marketing is just sales at a greater level with more leverage. So it's just understanding human psychology. The biggest thing is actually figuring out what your prospects' pain points are, and then building the gap between where they are right now to where they want to be, so far that it's almost inevitable that you close the deal. So pretty much just figuring out what their problems are and how you can actually solve that.
I love that. I love that. How about all of our guests have shared with us, so that we hope to inspire someone giving time, treasure, or talent to a really worthy cause, or also just spread some awareness about some great causes that are out there. You want to talk to us about a nonprofit cause that you care about?
Yeah, 100%. So there's Operation Hope. So what they do is they focus on providing financial literacy to kids. Reason I like this so much is because, as far as me and, a lot of other people that I've talked to, it's like, you can go to college, you can do all the schooling you want, but a lot of times they don't provide you actually financial literacy about, how the credit system works, how to do your taxes, how to actually invest. So I think it's a very, very tactical charity, because they're giving it out for free, but they're also giving them something that's very, very tactical that they can take and use later on. So that's why I like it.
Yeah, super, super practical. I love that. I think there needs to be so much more in the education system on mindset and goal setting, and using your time wisely, and or organization, how to organize yourself and your calendar and your life. There's so many great things that need to be taught in these school systems, but finance is definitely a big one. There's usually a very big educational gap there that takes, unless you come from a family or parents or actually take courses in college, there's not, it's not something that everybody knows easily. So it's what a great cause.
Right.
How about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
Yeah, for me, so it's a series. So I'm not sure if you know Alex Hermosi. He's a very, very big entrepreneur, but so he calls it the $100 million series. So he has 3 levels. It's the $100 million offers, $100 million leads, and then $100 million money models. So basically, it's just very, very tactical information. The offers book is talking about how to actually build out an offer where it just makes complete sense to a buyer that they feel dumb saying no. $100 million leads is how to actually take that offer and how to generate leads. And then the $100 million money models is essentially how to build out your offer so that you can make the most amount of money, with different types of pricing and things like that. The reason I like it so much is just because it's very, very tactical. There's a lot of books out there where you can just read the first chapter and it's kind of done. But this is very, very tactical. And the $100 million money models actually broke the Guinness Book of World Records for most copies sold for a nonfiction. So,
wow. I love that. I've never heard of these. I'm so glad you brought them.
It just released. It released in October, so it's fairly new.
And it already broke the record. That is unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Wow. That's got to be a lot of books.
They made over $100 million on it. So that was kind of their goal behind the whole thing. So
wow, that is wild. That's exciting for them too. So this has been a lot of fun having you on the show, John. And I just wanted to ask, is there anything else in more detail that you want to share about your business before we begin to come to a close? What else can you share with us?
Yeah, I'd say, for me, I think if you're more of like a newer entrepreneur that's, trying to take that leap, the biggest thing for me is it's like there's never going to be any perfect time in business. There's never going to be a perfect time to, take that leap into starting your business or take that leap into quitting your job or really anytime. You really just got to do it and make yourself prepared. I like to say, like, you just got to jump out and kind of just build wings on the way down. And then the second thing is a lot of people always reach out to me asking me like, hey, what's the perfect business model? I always say, and it's most people don't want to hear it. It's like the perfect business model is the one that you stick to and actually master. Too many people kind of look out there for, the perfect business model when in reality, there's pros and cons to everything. And if it brightens your day, there's a guy who's a billionaire that invented pool noodles. So he made $1 billion off inventing pool noodles. So anything works. You just got to stick to it.
I love that. That's a great point. That's a wonderful share. Like I said, it's an awesome having you. And if you're out there thinking, well, wait, I have a great idea, or I could help someone's personal life be better today than it was tomorrow, or I could help them grow their business. I've written a book. I have a program. Well, reach out to us and our team, and we'd love to get you on our show. But before we say goodbye to John, we're going to ask him for a final thought, some information or inspiration, just to inspire us as we close today.
I'd say, kind of just to recap, I'd say, just take that leap. Everyone has opinions on, especially if you're a new entrepreneur, everyone's going to have opinion on what you're doing if, the risk is right. And my favorite quote, I think it's from Grant Cardone, is never take financial advice from someone you'd never switch bank accounts with. So if,
that's a good one.
If someone's telling you not to take that risk, you just got to take a look at where they are in life and obviously be respectful, but can't please everyone.
That is a very good point. I think you're doing some great stuff. If you have a business and you'd like it to grow with more sales, more profit, more reach, then I highly suggest you reach out to John, find him, and have a conversation, see what you guys can do together. Thanks so much again for being on the show today, John.
Thank you.
As always, I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. And all of you out there, thanks for liking and sharing and commenting and being part of the show. Until our next one, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.